Coming to you from a beautiful patio in a place where I'm lucky enough to call home. It's good to be back, baby, and I'll tell you what. I'm looking at the sun, and I think by the angle, it's, what about this workout time, baby? Let's go! What's up? Core day today. Core day's our favorite. So, standard 22 moves, 22 seconds a pop. You are going to get that minute in between each of the 3 rounds today. It is necessary due to the rigor of the moves that hit the rectus abdominals, right? We don't have a break with the oblique days where one side gets rest, yada, yada, yada. Not that important right now. Get through the moves, we'll get ready to rock and roll. Thanks everyone for tuning in. First up, V-reach toe touch. And at the end of the workout, we're going to be talking about right-sided heart failure today. That's our educational focus, so stick around if you want to hear about that. We've been talking about congestive heart failure for the past few days. V-reach toe touch. What it sounds like. We know this is our Ving motion, right? V up. So V-reach, touch the toes. Repeat, V-reach toe touch. Arm hold the V. So after we do that, we'll do our last one. Then you're going to hold the arms where they were, and the legs come up, and you'll touch your knees to your hands. The next one, the same starting position, but the hands move. And touch your shins. Leg hold, V crunch. Single suitcase, a familiar friend. We're in our suitcase crunch position, and it's a single suitcase. Next 22 seconds, we'll rock that other side. Shin slide hold. Here's a new one. So the hold is referring to the working leg. And the working leg is being held out straight. Now, we are working in the other sense on the other side by sliding up and down the shin while this one holds. Shin slide hold. We'll hit that other side the next 22 seconds. Suitcase scissor V we've done. Suitcase, scissor, V. Suitcase scissor V. Hip rock. Bada bang, bada boom. Your hips rock off. You get that butt, sacrum, lower lumbars. You get them all off the ground, right? They come back down and tap. You bring them up again using your core to pull them. Hip rock. Hip rock hold. Same thing, but you're just going to hold it in that position, right? And then we got bilateral shin slide. So we did our shin slide with one leg out. So bilateral, both legs, you're going to be here, and you're going to slide up and down both. Like that. So again, no leg being held straight for that one. And the last one, our straightaway series, hip twist. You bring it up in that hip rock hold position, and you twist back and forth. As for our oblique series, we've got the staple, twist heel feel first. This is just such a great one. You do it all the time. Again, that knee's in front. If you drew a line, a tangent line from your patella, it would end up about a foot or two in front of your head, right? In front of your face. You got one arm behind the head and you're twisting, touching that heel. Touching that heel, twist heel feel. So nice, we'll do it twice. Then we got twist, hold, knee pull. So you come up, you twist, hold. You get those arms here, or you can have them here, but you're twisting and holding, right? And then knee pull. Knee pull, point. The foot is pointed horizontally. And we'll do that one twice too. And last but not least, pure pulses. So this one, you got this leg bent. You come up, twist, and pulse. Pulse, 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 pulse. So the reason I want this leg up is it's a good landmark to notice your elbow is never going back past it or even to it. Right as it's about to, you go forward again, okay? And this shoulder, of course, stays off. We'll do the other side after for all 5 moves. And that's our core workout for today, baby. All right, we're done. You guys happy? Just kidding. What's up, Ma? What up, BK Ham? What up, Nadia? How you guys doing? Thanks for tuning in, guys. You got 1 minute. We'll get rocking and rolling. We got a gorgeous day for this. Gorgeous, gorgeous day. So lucky. Let's enjoy it, huh? Let's enjoy it. 40 seconds. We're going to talk about right-sided heart failure at the end of the workout for those of you who want to stick around. Here's some cool shit. Stuff. You could get down on the mat, ready to go. V-reach, toe touch first. And your toes are up. You're reaching, touching your feet at least. With your hands. Keep those legs up there. Now keep your hands there. Come up till your shins hit your hands. Good job. In and out today. 24 minutes of fun. And bring them up one last time. Now the legs stay. Come up, touch. Slide in here. See. Single suitcase. Oh. Hold one out and do the other one. Losing my mind. Oh. And switch it up. One leg out, other one's bent. Slide on that shin. Slide. If you can keep your shoulders off, that's great. Other side. Almost through the worst of it. Suitcase, scissor, V, suitcase, scissor, V. See that hip rock. Should be feeling it already, people. I certainly am. Bring it up. Hold it. Woo! Keep your legs right there. Bilateral shin slide. And bring your hips up. Twist. keeping the shoulder off, right? Now we're gonna go hold. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You're gonna come up. You're gonna twist it, hold it on your side. Bringing that leg up. Knee pull. Now the reason my arms are here is look what happens when I bring them here. That's come over it. But we can rotate. It hits a different part of the obliques. Slightly, so you can put them in front, open them. But you're maintaining a twist hold this entire time, regardless, right? And that's the important part. And that your foot is pointed at an angle or horizontal. Put that leg up here, come up, pulse, pulse. This elbow doesn't go past that leg, right? This just shreds them. Shark kilo glutes, baby. That's what we want. Other side, all 5. You're on your side. You're coming up. Twist, touch that heel. Twist and touch. Now with the 1, 2, 3 hold. Touching that heel like you love it. Holding on to it. Not grabbing it, but maintaining contact. 2 for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Come up. Twist hold. Open those arms. Second time we do this, we're going to rotate the arm position, okay? Good job. But one common thing that does not change either time is the angle of your foot. Okay, that stays. Now you pull it in here, pull it in here. Put that leg up, come up, pulse. Shoulders off, right? Woo! Man. Yeah, it works. Yeah, this one works. We definitely feel it. Oh boy, 1 down. Great job. I'm gonna stay right here. Flip it around for you so you can see better. Oh. I hope you're doing it outside. Take advantage of this weather, baby. Nice run. fingertips should be touching your shins. Now the feet stay. The hands move. Single suitcase. Other side. Good job, guys. Keep going. You're almost through the worst part, all right? Reset. Put one leg out, one shin up. Slide on that shin. Shoulders don't touch the bottom. Other side, other side. Suitcase, scissor, V. Again, suitcase, scissor, V. Lock those hips up. Now bring it up. Hold it. Double shin slide. Now bring the hips up. Twist. Series people. Start with that other side this time. None other than twist, feel, feel. Now come 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Reset. Come up. Twist, hold here. Knee pull. Knee. Where's that foot button? Now we're going to go here, and you're going to put the hands there. And here, and here. leg down, you're gonna come up. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Ah. Ah. Keep the shoulder up. No. Other side. Twist hold. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Reset. Come up. Twist hold here. Arms out. Knee pull. Knee pull. Good job. You guys are almost done with your second circuit. 66% of the way there. Now you pull it here. Pull it here. Really nice job, guys. We're almost done. Now reset that leg. Come up. And pure pulse. I don't care what the bottom leg is doing. This one is bent, and the elbow doesn't pass it, and the shoulders off. Major factors. Oh man, 2 down. Good job. Last one coming, you guys. Come on, you got this. 40 seconds. There it is, 30 seconds. What up, Julio? Thanks for tuning in, bro. Good to see you on here. I know, it's a classic. Classic. Last circuit coming, you handsome hooligans and beautiful babes. Let's get it rocking. In about 10 seconds. Raise it up. Touch those feet. Last circuit. Let's go. You got this. Leave the hands. Just the feet move. shoulders off, just ever so slightly. Other side. Keep that up there. Right into it. Ah! They suck. In a great way. Yeah. Other side, don't rest. Nice job. Ah. Suitcase, scissor, V. Suitcase, scissor, V. Ready for that hip rock. Bring it on up and hold. Double shin slide. Shoulders don't touch in between. We're getting the shin waxing today. Hip twist. Pick it up. Oblique series. Right into it. Smooth transition. Twist what's that heel. Give me a twist hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this time. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up, reset, twist hold, knee pull. Knee. You can have your hands behind your head if you want. Ah, feel that squeeze. I feel that a lot. Oh. Yeah, you pull it there, hands there. The pull portion is the same, it's just a little elevated, obviously, to get over the hands when they're here. Bend that leg, come up. Pure pulse. Like you're ripping them off. Ripping it, ripping it, ripping it. You gotta rip it to get ripped. Have fun, baby. You're almost there. You're doing so good. Don't you dare give up on yourself right now. Twist heel feel. We don't regret the things we do in life. We regret all the things we didn't do. And if you didn't do a move because you were too tired, hold it for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you didn't do a move because you're too tired, you're gonna regret it in 2 minutes. Come on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great job. Twist, hold, knee pull, knee pull. Oh. Woo. Pull it, pull it. Come up. Pulse. Pulse. Ah, ah, ah. Pure pulse the whole time. So slight, so effective though. Ah, ah, ah. Oh. Great job. Okay. How you guys feeling? Can you do one more thing? Can you do one more thing for what'll take about 40 seconds? You can. All right. I'll answer it for you. We're going to do some plank thrusters, all right? So everybody hop on your elbows, like so. We're going to go up and down with the booty. Up and down. 1. We'll do 50. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 11, 12, 13. 20. Keep going. Halfway. 20 more. 10 more. One for good luck. Ugh. Nice. Nice. Really? Oh man. Yeah, now we're spent. We're definitely spent, that's for sure. All right. Slightly change this angle. All right. So what are we talking about today, huh? We're talking about right-sided heart failure. And we've been talking about congestive heart failure for the past few days. And to pick up where we left off, now we've been hitting the left side the last 2 days, right? And we talked about hypertension and atherosclerosis, and especially of the coronary arteries, right? That can contribute to left ventricular dysfunction, backs up to the left atrium, through the pulmonary veins, back to the lungs. We talked about the buildup of fluid, the formation of hemosiderin-laden macrophages, hence heart failure cells, yesterday. So now we're at the lungs, and we're gonna go back to the heart from the lungs, okay, to the right side. Hence our right-sided heart failure discussion today. Just to pick up where we left off, right? So we have this buildup of fluid, right, from the left-sided heart failure, right? And that ventricle can't pump well enough, and we talked about a lot of different reasons. And rewatch the video if you want to review it. But now we got all this extra fluid in the lungs and this blood buildup. And so what happens? It gets backed up. Everything's a domino effect. And it gets backed up to the right ventricle through the pulmonic valve, right? One of the two semilunar valves, being aortic. And it gets backed up to the right ventricle, and that backs up to the right atrium through the tricuspid valve, right? And now the right atrium has the superior inferior vena cava feeding it,
deoxygenated blood for the purpose of sending it through the right ventricle, through the pulmonic valve, right? Through to the lungs, through the pulmonary arteries, right? And they're the only arteries that carry deoxygenated blood in the body, right? Just like we said, the pulmonary veins carry oxygenated, and they're the only exception. So, when you get backed up to the right atrium like that, now the inferior vena cava, superior vena cava, which feed deoxygenated blood from systemic peripheral tissues, are backed up. And what happens? So say it backs up superiorly to the jugular vein. Well, jugular venous distension, right? Distension is it's popped out like that because all the pressure's in it, right? So these are signs of right-sided failure, right? And build up of fluid and pressure in that right atrium. In terms of what's going down, you got back up all the way down to your feet, right? And you're going to get peripheral edema, and specifically pitting edema. So when you press it, it's all this accumulation of fluid, like a fat leg, two fat legs, and your feet, and there's just fluid in your ankles, and because gravity's carrying it there, right? And so it's all built up, and when you press it, it's called pitting edema because when you press it, it makes a pit, and it takes a little bit for the pit to go away. So you press it, it squishes in, right? As opposed to other types of edema, which will regain their shape quickly after being pressed. So pitting edema. In addition, there is fluid buildup in visceral organs, such as the liver or the spleen. And here we get hepatomegaly, or the liver, megaly is bigger, right? So an enlarged liver due to this distension with the fluid buildup in the backup, right? And splenomegaly, the spleen gets larger with the same principle applying. And so when you have, this can lead to cirrhosis in the liver. Now, usually when we talk about cirrhosis, we talk about alcoholism, right? First steatosis, fatty liver and steatosis and cirrhosis and so on, right? It's another day. But in this case, it is called cardiac cirrhosis because it's due to heart malfunction, right? And like we said, specifically the right side. So, the pathway we just went down, it all began where? Technically, with our discussion yesterday and the day before, in the left side of the heart. So the most common reason for right-sided heart failure is left-sided heart failure because it's all connected, you guys, right? We're seeing that unanimous theme throughout all these things we talk about, anatomy, physiology. And so there are other ways that the right side of the heart can fail, not just due to the left side. But let's say you had pulmonic valve stenosis. And now that right ventricle has to work harder to pump the deoxygenated blood through the pulmonary arteries to the lungs. To get through that pulmonic valve, it's got to pump harder. So what happens? Cardiac hypertrophy, right? Myocardial hypertrophy. And we talked about that in the left ventricle, pumping through the aorta with similar things, aortic stenosis, right? Or hypertension downstream. And so the same principle here, and it'll beef up with this concentric hypertrophy, right? Layered like this. And eventually it's going to fail, right? And it requires more oxygen, and also as it gets bigger, it's going to compress coronary arteries, which are outside of it, feeding oxygen. So it's a double feedback loop in the worst way. Really, it's a rough effect that it has. So that's one way. You could have stenosis or narrowing, again, if you weren't familiar with the term, of the tricuspid valve, leading from the right atrium into the right ventricle. And so the issue here is back up at the level of the right atrium. So now blood is building up in the atrium, and what did we say? Downstream, going backwards from the lungs through the pulmonic valve, right ventricle up to the right atrium, and what feeds it? The vena cava. Right atrium gets bigger, all this pressure, backs up everything. Same effect as we talked about before with jugular venous distension, pitting edema, things like that, buildup of fluid in the systemic peripheral veins. And so that's another way. Also, you could have regurgitation of that same valve, the tricuspid valve. And regurgitation just means that once the blood is pumped from the right atrium into the right ventricle, some blood goes back. It's like a loose valve, the opposite of the stenosis, right? Stenosis is really tight. for regurgitation, it can fall back in there, right? So then now there's less blood in the right ventricle to be able to pump through that pulmonic valve to the lungs to get oxygen, right? And so what does it do? Well, similar to the way we talked about a dilated cardiomyopathy in the left ventricle, similar principle here, it dilates more with this eccentric lengthening dilation and to fill up with more volume, and eventually spreads too thin and too weak to contract well, hence leading to right-sided heart failure. Now, other common ways, hypertension coming from the lungs could be due to a pulmonary embolism, and we talked about that, right? And the formation from atherosclerotic plaques or thrombuses, right? A thrombus, becoming an embolus, right? Traveling through the blood when that clot breaks off, and then becoming an emboli, getting lodged somewhere. So now pulmonary emboli, right? And now you have hypertension from that, buildup of pressure, right? Because it's blocking things, right? And the most common cause of this hypertension is COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. And we'll take emphysema as an example, right? One major one. And so this causes hypertension in the lungs, and this pulmonary hypertension backs up to the right side of the heart in the same way we've just discussed a few times, right? That same mechanism. But that's another cause. Let's see, other causes, pericardium thickening, right? So that tissue around the heart, that connective tissue, we talked about this in the left side of the heart, right? And same thing for the right. I mean, if that pericardium gets thicker, it's going to squeeze on it, and it's harder for the heart to open up from as much blood, right? So it's like we talked about that as a diastolic issue in the left ventricle because it can't expand enough to fill with as much blood. So there's another reason. Coronary artery disease, right? We talked about atherosclerosis of the coronary arteries contributing to left ventricular failure. And as a byproduct, it can either start there and then go down this whole pathway, causing right-sided, so indirectly the coronary artery supplying the left side caused right-sided, or it could be the coronary arteries directly supplying the right side that are atherosclerotic or blocked, right, with some plaques. And they can't get proper amounts of blood and oxygen to the heart, and heart failure can ensue, right? Now, when you have the primary reason being the issue in the lungs, like we just talked about hypertension in the lungs, causing the heart failure, that's called cor pulmonale. Cor pulmonale, right? Meaning core, the primary problem is pulmonale lungs, right? So primarily the problem begins in the lungs. So that is distinguished from left-sided failure causing right-sided. So many different mechanisms. And one final one I want to talk about is congenital anomalies like, say, a ventricular septal defect. And what is that? Well, the septum is what divides the ventricles, right? And so if you had a defect or a hole in it, right, and there was a slit, blood could go improperly from the left ventricle to the right, from high pressure to low pressure, higher pressure left ventricle, lower pressure right ventricle. And now with this happening, I mean, obviously it just doesn't sound good, right? It's abnormal. It should be going through the aorta, right, from the left ventricle. But it's traveling in there, and now it's got to expand. It's got to get all this extra blood, the right ventricle. So I got to dilate more. And same with that eccentric growth, like links in a chain growing like this, right? Because concentric is like it gets thicker, you know? So concentric, eccentric, right? And so eventually it spreads too thin and fails to work, fails to beat properly. And there you have it again, right-sided heart failure. So there's a bunch of ways that, we get to right-sided heart failure, whether it comes straight from the lungs, coronary arteries that supply it, the pericardium, left-sided heart failure being the primary most common reason. And I hope you guys got something out of that today. So tomorrow we'll get into diabetes. And thank you very much for tuning in today. We'll see you then for Backpack Day. Have a great night. Thank you.